Bassett, your host, and if you're first time to the show, welcome. If you're regular coming back, welcome back. It's been a great journey so far, and just trying to keep it up every 2 weeks. Showing up to do an episode every 2 weeks has been helping, and I just want to keep the consistency up because you're getting good numbers. And I like to talk a lot, to be honest. I've had a cold for the last week, but my voice is cleared up now, so all bottled up and ready to get it all out there now. So today's episode is about getting your car ready to go away, whether you're towing, not towing, full driving, even the day trip. Your car's your source of reliability. You want to make sure you get to A to B, but you also want to get home as well. Keeping your occupants safe, keeping yourself safe, and just some of the things I carry in my car that it's a bit of a keep safe, a bit of a security for myself to make sure that I get home safe, and particularly the car's ready to go back to work on Monday, drop the kids off at school, and the every day-to-day things we need to do. Our vehicle is our main source of transportation. But living in Victoria, living in Australia, we'll heavily rely on our vehicles. And I wouldn't be saying I'm the only one who would use my weekend warrior as my 9 to 5 job, Monday to Friday. So the things I do mainly, particularly in the car, it's probably 11 years old, it's done 180,000 Ks, is I regularly service it. I do most of the servicing myself. I do my oil, brakes, I do my diff oils. Some of the major stuff like timing chains and stuff get done by my mechanic. Shout out to Dylan at Ultratune in Moorabbin. He's done a lot of my servicing, and sometimes I've had to have some advice over the side of the road or in the garage at home, being the weekend warrior. He's got me out of a lot of different situations and also give me a lot of advice on my car. And it's good to always have a good mechanic or friends and family who know what they're talking about. Also can help you. Learning to do your own servicing is probably one of the best things I've ever learned, especially if you're on the road, out in the way. You kind of know what's going on with the car, what's the situation, and how to get yourself out of it. Other thing is I have RACV towing assistance, not just the standard roadside, but the extra one. So you can have a tow truck for about 120 kilometres away from home or even out in the bush, wherever you are. So that extra buffer of service to get the tow truck to get yourself, say, from Mansfield to Melbourne or Mansfield or out Mount Bullaway to a local mechanic is going to be quite critical and save you a bucket load of money because they charge through the arse, these guys. But, that's their job, that's their service. And, yeah, I trust them, and, you just got to pay it up, I guess. So look into your roadside assistance because a lot of people have different levels of service. I've had RACV since I was 18 years old, and they've always been quite reliable. But I guess a lot of insurances added on, like Amy will add it on, but actually really look at how good their service is. From experience, they're pretty shit. Sorry, Amy, but, we've got to be honest here. Budget Direct and all those, I don't know, but really actually review your insurance policy on your roadside. Even review your insurance policy in general, because what you can do going out on the tracks, your insurance policy may not cover it. Even some of the big four-wheel drive ones that say they'll cover everything, double check it because you just don't know. Check your level of cover, check your excess, check everything, because if something happens, especially out in the tracks, they're still technically state roads, so you are covered, but you really want to make sure you're covered for what you're about to do. So it doesn't take much to make a phone call. Actually, let's not talk shit. It does take a long time. You be on hold for 15 minutes and God knows what call center you get, but you just got to invest that time to do it, because you rather invest that time and have that peace of mind, even have to pay a little bit more, than being stuck out there and getting fuck all service. So definitely investigate that. I carry a CB radio, a UHF radio in my car at all times, just to communicate with whoever I'm traveling with, even just keeping on channel 40, because sometimes you'll hear about accidents coming up. And there's also emergency channels as well. They're always good to keep on to, particularly if it is a heavy storm or high fire danger, it's always good to keep your radio on emergencies. So you don't stuff around with making an emergency call on it, but at least it'll give you an idea if there is a situation, because out in the bush, out in the roads, there is not much phone reception, and you just want to be covered. In saying that as well, if you're going to go rural, I would recommend Telstra. I've been on Optus, I've been on Vodafone away, and you do not have much reception whatsoever. Telstra's a bit of a safety net because they're much better in Australia than the other networks, particularly rural. Being with Optus, I've had no reception, and being with Telstra, I've had 2-3 bars, which is enough to get you out of trouble. And also communicate with family and friends if you're when you're away, particularly if you got people you got to check in with your kids and stuff. It's a bit of a buffer to make sure that you communicate you're safe and they know you're safe, and it's just that less anxiety as well traveling. Also, I keep a first aid kit with absolutely everything in it, including ice packs, tweezers, antiseptic. I'm actually going to be adding a snake bite kit to it. You don't need it until you need it. It's just always good to have, just in case the situation comes. And also, in a bonus, if you're not familiar with how to do any first aid, do a short first aid course. A lot of your work sites might even offer that. Put your hand up, pay for it if you have to. I think I've done it a couple of times, and I'm pretty confident if in any situation that rolls up that I'll be able to help out, whether it be myself, my kids, my family, my friends. So it's always good to have. Another thing that's also good to carry in emergency situations, EPIRB. So if shit really hits the fan where you need ambulance straight away, one press of a button, and they will be able to locate your GPS and get to you as soon as possible. That it's you could break your leg, you can be stuck in somewhere, and when you need emergency situation ASAP, services ASAP, they're there. GME make a great one. It's got like a 6-year battery, and they're Australian made. You can't go wrong. So look into investing in one of those. I'm definitely going to for this summer period. I just want to have a buffer just in case. You just never know until it happens. So Anaconda, all those guys sell it. Get onto it. Just have a squiz. Purchase it. Also, with your car, check your tyres. If you've got highway tyres and you're about to go off-roading, you probably want to go to all terrains. Muddies are a bit extreme. Muddies is probably if you're going to go, bush bashing in the mud. But just a good set of all terrains is going to help you, because if you have to drop the pressures from 40 psi to 24, a good set of all terrains with good poly layers of rubber that can go down and not get punctured is going to be much better than highway tyres. Highway tyres can go down a little bit in air, but they're more likely to get punctured in the future. So go to your local tyre joint, get some tyres. I recently have. My Hankook Dynapros did 110,000 kilometres, and they had to be replaced, obvious safety reasons and also age. A friend of mine, Glenn, at Jack's Tyres in Frankston, sorted me out there, and yeah, I feel much safer on the road now. So yeah, definitely tyres is one of those things that you see a lot of people on the road with ball tyres, really, really old tyres that are brittle. You don't want that's not going to save you when you're away. And also check your spare. Make sure your spare's up to date. I've just recently done that as well, and I'm just going to rotate all 5 tyres every time now. So yeah, have a look at it. Other things I carry is blankets. I carry the hypothermia blanket just in case. Always carry a lot of water. I've got a fridge in the car, fortunately, so I can carry cold water, but even carrying a few bottles of water is going to help you if you get stuck on the side of the road. You always got that bit of a buffer to have some water, because you never know where you're going to be or how long you're going to be stranded for. So carry that, and you'll be absolutely fine. Including into that, I would carry Panadol, Nurofen, and any kids Panadol, Nurofen if you have to. Hydrolite is essential in my car. in case of dehydration, put a couple of tablets into some water and drink it, and you'll be fine. The other thing I carry is my daughter gets car sick, so I have the bracelets with a little button in it, and it's sort of, I don't know if it works or not. Could be voodoo, I don't know. But ever since she's been wearing them, it's been a bit of a distraction for her, and I just sort of, she doesn't yuck in the car as much as she used to. In saying that as well, just careful what you feed your kids before you drive. I highly recommend you not give them yogurt and berries before driving, along with the Vegemite scroll. Keep to probably your dry food while you're driving if your kids do get car sick. Make sure they're not reading any iPads or books and looking down. Try and get them to look up the into the hemisphere, the horizon, should I say. That definitely helps. And yeah, the Hydrolite will help there as well. Keep some blankets and spare clothes in the car. I've had to do that. There was a moment where my daughter threw up. I had to pull over on the black spur on the other side of the road because it was the only safe place to do so. And I had spare clothes in the car, towels, everything, so I was able to get myself out of a situation quite fast. And we were off our way quick, as safe as possible, to get back onto the road and jump to our destination. So those little things definitely help on those trips, any trip. So that's something I've always kept in my conscious, is to make sure we're not eating particular foods, or if we are, give it a bit of time to digest prior to leaving. Toilet paper is definitely one of those things I keep in the car in that topic, and wet wipes and disinfectant wipes. So if they do throw up in the car, you can buy these disinfectant wipes from Coles and Woolies. The Pinnacle ones, or their Woolworths brand ones, for $3-4. Makes everything smell like apples and strawberries after, so you can't complain with that too much. The other thing I do is check my wiper blades. They sometimes can be full of gunk from along, between seasons. It's always good just to make sure that they're up to date, and so in case of shitty weather, you're going to be safe, kept safe, and keep driving and move on forward safely. Recently, I filled up at a petrol station, a well-known petrol station, screw it, BP, put some fuel on my car, kept driving, and it actually set off my warning lights and that had water in the fuel. So I had to change all my filters. Actually, had to change my fuel pumps. So that was unfortunate. I wouldn't say get a second. You don't need a secondary fuel filter. I don't think that would have saved me. It all happened within the tank prior going to that filter. But changing the filters fast and then the transfer pump later on did save detonating my engine, particularly with diesel. So if you see a fuel tanker filling up the tank while you're driving in to fill up, I recommend do not touch it, as they'll be stirring up all the shit from the bottom of the tank, and that ends up in your tank, and therefore you may be pulled up on the side of the road with some dodgy fuel. I do carry a bottle of Fuel Doctor. It's an additive that you add to your fuel that neutralizes any gunk and water in your fuel to make it as normal as possible as diesel, if not cleans your tank and everything. That saved me that time at BP. Straight after I got a bottle of Fuel Doctor, put it in, and it allowed me to drive the car until I got the fuel transfer pump replaced about 2 weeks later. That is a $1,200 exercise for any car, or my car was that, but it could be more expensive depending on the car you own. So always fill up at a reputable fuel stop. If you have a doubt about the fuel, don't fill up, because it can cause you a bit of trouble moving forward. The last few things I'll probably mention that I carry are if I'm going on the bush, I always carry a paper mapper where I'm going, because your phone can die, no reception, and Google doesn't have everything on there. So at least having a paper map is a great buffer to have. We've have to use it plenty of times when we thought there was a track, there wasn't, and the paper map was able to get it out. You can get it anywhere from servos or camping shops. I've done all three, from servos, camping shops, and also the milk bar out in Dargo, and it was a good saviour to have. I also keep various phone chargers for anyone's phone, because there's Samsung and iPhones, and also I keep a battery, one of those memory bank things, the USB. You plug your USB in and it gives you an extra charge on your phone. That's saved me plenty of times as well. depending on the situation where you just needed that instant charge while the car was off. I'll most likely put these all down on a pinpoint, like a dot points, and put on a PDF for everyone to view. So if you want a copy of it, send it an email to info@gettingouthere.net.au. I've been getting some great feedback from everybody lately, and it's been really good to hear. If there's any more topics you want me to talk about moving forward, please let me know. Love to bring some topic up that people say. Any questions, send it to my email. We're on Instagram. Put a private message in there. Comment on any of the posts. We're on Facebook as well, but not many people use Facebook for these things anymore. So, yeah, love to hear back from you guys. Look forward to speaking in a couple of weeks. And, have a great day, weekend, night, whatever you're doing. Cheers. Bye.